You are welcome to Better Famous. My name is Peter. I'll be teaching you algebraic fraction. How algebraic fraction is being solved in its simplification. If you are new on this channel, kindly please subscribe so that the YouTube algorithm are going to be notifying you whenever a new video are being dropped on this YouTube channel. If you need a basic principle in learning algebraic fraction, learning mathematics and physics in its context, you are welcome to this channel. So today we'll be dealing with algebraic fraction as a topic. So we are going to be looking at how a question of this kind can be solved in algebraic fraction now, and I'm going to be giving you some practical steps that are being followed. First thing you do here is this: after your solution is that look for the product of 15 and product of 30, and they are the same thing as 15a square b cube all over 30a cube and b square is the same thing as 3 times 5 times, you have 2a here, it becomes a times a, 3b here times b times b times b all over 2 times 3 times 5 times, you have 3a here, it becomes a times a times a, you have 2b here, b raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as b times b. Now 2 cannot divide this out, they are not the same. 3 here cancel 3 here, 5 here cancel 5 here, a against a against a, b against b, b against b. What do you have left as our numerator is only, your answer for the numerator is b, while for the denominator 2 times a gave you 2a. This is the simple question. This is the way it is being solved. You can see how simple solving algebraic fractions are if only you will learn how to manage the use of multiplication table in terms of product. Now we have a second question here. This second question here has to do with looking for the differences of a number. Now from what we have said, reduce b square minus 4 square to its lowest term. How do we solve it? Follow me. So from what we have here, we can say, since we are having square here, we are having square here, we can put everything inside a bracket as b minus 4 close the bracket square. Why for this denominator here, since this is what we have from here, how we advise you, factorize for the denominator, and I will state it here. For the denominator, factorize. So it becomes, check what you have from here. What is the common term in this denominator you have here? We observe that we have b here, we have b here. Pick one of the b and write it out. So what you are going to be having left here is going to be b minus 4. b minus 4. Close your bracket. So for this, using a differences of 2 squared, since everything you are having inside this bracket is raised to the power of 2, just remember that everything you have here is going to multiply itself twice, and it becomes b minus 4 in a bracket, open another bracket, b plus 4 all over b open bracket b minus 4, close your bracket. Now what differences of 2 square explains to you is that if the first bracket is having a subtraction sign, the second bracket is going to have an addition sign. So when you check what we have here, we have this here and we have this, they are the same thing. This one here will cancel this here. So from here, our final answer is the same thing as b plus 4 all over what? B. Thank you. This is the third question now. It said, simplify tp minus t square all over p minus t close bracket square. What do we do? Remember, if you are having something of this kind as a denominator or as a numerator, don't forget that you should always find the differences of the two squares. Why for this numerator, what you do from here is that you factorize for the numerator. So from here, when you factorize what you have here, you have t here, you have t here, write out the t. So what are you going to have left in this bracket is going to be what? P minus t. P minus t, close bracket, all over. Remember, differences of 2 squared, so it becomes P minus t, close bracket, another bracket again, P plus t, close bracket. You are having P minus t here, P minus t here. This will cancel out this. So you are left with your final answer as t all over P plus t. Now, P squared minus 9 all over P squared minus 7P plus 12. But one thing I need you to understand is that whenever you are seeing an equation of something of this kind, they are always called quadratic equation. Whenever an equation is having raised to the power of 2, it is mostly called a quadratic equation. So from here, what we are going to do from here is that since we are having p raised to the power of 2 here, and the square root of 9 from here is what? Is 3. That means 3 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as what? As 9. We can look for the common differences of this as putting it as p squared minus 3 squared all over. For this denominator here, it's a quadratic equation. What are we going to do? Just remember that this quadratic equation we have here is tells you of when A is a unity. How do you know that A is unity? Is when there is no fixed number here and alphabet is standing alone, is when we call it A is unity. So since we have something of this kind, what are we going to do then? Then look for a number that can multiply another number here to give you 12, and whenever you add or subtract them, removing the multiplication sign, they give you exactly minus 7. So from here we have it as 4 times 3 will give us 12, and we have minus 4 minus 3 will give us minus 7. So we can say anywhere you have minus 7, you can replace it with minus 4 minus 3, and anytime you have 12, you can replace it with 4 times 3, although it might seem it's not there. So from here we can say p squared minus 4 squared minus 3 squared plus 12. So from here, what do we do next? We have put what you have there in the bracket, so it becomes p minus 3, close the bracket, put your square, all over, open another bracket, put this in a bracket in order to factorize easily. So it becomes p squared minus, sorry we made a mistake from here, what we have here is supposed to be p, not us. So from what we have here as p squared minus 4p minus 3p plus 12. Plus 12. So from here we group this in a bracket and we group this in a bracket. From here, for the numerator, differences of 2 squared, while for the denominator, factorize what you have in each of the brackets. So from here, for the numerator, we have p minus 3, close your bracket, another bracket again, p plus 3, close your bracket. While for this one, for the factorization in this first bracket, we have a p here, write it out. You have what you have left in this first bracket becomes p minus 4, close your bracket. Now, for this second bracket we have here, we have minus 3 here, we have minus 3 here. So we write out our minus 3. So we are left with p minus 4, close your bracket. So from here, since what you have in this bracket here and in this bracket here are the same, pick one of it. So it becomes p minus 3 p plus 3 for the first bracket in the numerator. Why for this? It becomes p minus 3 close bracket p minus 4. Now from here, you have this here, you have this here. They cancel out themselves, so it becomes our final answer is equals to p plus 3 all over p minus 4. This is how algebraic fraction involving quadratic equations, differences of 2 squared, and factorization is being solved in a simple way. So moving down to the next part of the questions, which is 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. No one should tell you that this question you have here is always a quadratic equation. The reason is because it is having a power of 2. While for what you have here, you can look for the square root of 4 and the square root of 9. What you have here is still the same thing as putting it as 4 is the same thing as 2 squared, while 9 is the same thing as 3 squared. So from here we can say 2x squared. We are going to look for a perfect number to replace this minus 5, and at the same time, so that whenever we are factorizing the numerator, it does not affect us. So from here we can say anytime you are having minus 5, you can replace it. Since we are having minus 5 from this question, we can replace it with minus 8 plus 3. We still give us our answer as minus 5. So from here we can say minus 8x plus 3x minus 12 all over 2 squared from there x squared minus 3 squared. So we just use anywhere we have 4 to replace it with 2 squared, anywhere we have 9 replace it with 3 squared. So for this denominator you can group them in a bracket, while for the numerator the same thing goes to it. So we have it as 2x squared minus 8x, put them in a bracket. For this other side we have it plus 3x minus 12, close the bracket, put it in a bracket. And for this, put them also in a bracket. We have 2x minus 3 in a single bracket. This square here tells you that the square affects everything inside this bracket. So from here, factorize our numerator, we can say the common term between what you have here and what you have here is 2x. How do we get that? 2x squared is still the same as 2 times x times x. For this, is the 8x is still the same thing as 2 times 4 times x. So we go with 2. X, we go with 2x. The common term there is what we have as 2x. So we have it as 2x from this first bracket. What do we have left? For this first side, we have it as x, okay? And for this downside, we have it as 4. So it becomes minus 4. Now, for this second bracket we have here, the common term between this and this is what we have as plus 3. How do we get that? Okay, we have this as 3x. It's still the same thing as 3 times x. While for 12, minus 12 is still the same thing as minus 3 plus 3 times minus 4. So we have 3 here, we have 3 here, as single circle as this. We have here as plus 3, open bracket, x minus 4 for the numerator. While for the denominator, differences of 2 square happens here again, separate them. So we have it as 2x minus 3, another bracket again, 2x plus 3. Differences of 2 square tells you that if the first bracket is having a sign of minus, the second bracket is going to have a sign of plus. So from here, since what we have in our numerator for the two brackets are the same thing, pick one of it. So it becomes 2x plus 3 in a bracket. Why pick one of these? We have it as x minus 4. Put it in a bracket. And for the denominator, we have it as 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. You have this here, you have this here, they cancel out themselves. So our final answer for this question becomes x minus 4 all over 2x plus 3. Thank you if you have joined us right from the beginning of this part of these questions, simplifications of algebraic fraction. I want to say I believe you've learned a lot from this, and I will advise you that all those things you've learned from this channel, put them into action and see how they are going to help you in solving problems in algebraic fractions. So thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and at the same time turn on the notification button. We love you.